Hello and welcome back for another game of Dota 2. We are watching StarSeries Season 7, Day 25 out of the 30 days of group stages that we have. And we're gonna see 4FC taking on Fnatic as the second game of 6 today. And I am not by myself. I am joined by two people here. We have got Nahaz here in the game who will be providing us with all the stats about the game. And of course, my co-caster, that's right, I have a co-caster this game. Well, I will be joined for the first time this season, I think, by Skip. Welcome back.
Hey Shiver, it's good to be back. Yeah, we haven't done any casting together in ages.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to be here and looking forward to these games. I guess it's often a bit late for me with Starland.
Yeah.
Is the problem.
I mean, right now it's like 1 AM for you or something.
It just went. It's 2:15 in the morning.
2:15. Okay.
I don't have anything on tomorrow, and I figured, well, I'm getting a little bit out of touch with what's actually going on in the European scene, so I figured it would be a good opportunity to sort of get up to date and scope out what's going on after we've had some shuffling going on.
Well, I will tell you, because Fnatic has actually been not doing all too well in StarSeries. They have played 12 games thus far. They have won 5, lost 7. So their chances of going to Kiev are pretty much 0. Unless some miracle happens and a lot of people get ill or something like that. But Fnatic, their chances to go to the Pro Series are still there, and not really that present. They're looking pretty solid as long as they don't lose more games. 4FC though, they are actually looking quite bad. They have won 3 games, lost 7. They are a number of 15 of 16 teams, and of course the 2 bottom will get dropped off to Pro Series regardless, with the 13 and 14 going to Pro Series only if they lose their match in the regulation matches up against the number 3 and 4 of Pro Series. But 4FC really needs to win this game. Fnatic haven't been looking as strong as I said, but also now have a stand-in since Era is on holiday. So we have got Fire here, though I do like their draft. They come off strong. Timbersaw, Troll Warlord, let me tell you, this is not your standard Western drafting that you see here. I mean, we have got the Bat Rider IO ban, that's standard. We also got the Lone Druid ban, not that standard. A Baden ban, not that standard. Lone Druid ban standard up against 4FC though, because clearly otherwise we'll play him. Naga Siren first pickup, standard. Timbersaw Troll picked up, yes standard, but not as first two.
Yeah, Timbersaw and Troll, we don't typically see them in these spots, but I mean, so Timbersaw, the chain should have gone through now, that if you stun him during Timber Chain, he just stays in place, right? That's properly fixed now. So yeah, that does kind of change the motivation a little bit from, to not picking Timbersaw up so early. I guess the one thing that I would point out as somebody who primarily casts, I guess, Eastern Dota is that nobody's done anything to do with Weaver just yet. He doesn't have a great 1v1 against the Timbersaw, so maybe not the best for 4FC to pick up, and they are kind of looking like they're just going to go for a bit of a push here. Spirit Breaker, we have been seeing a little bit more of, and I guess the other question is, do you see much Elder Titan at the moment in Europe, or is it just, no, so that's primarily just a Chinese thing?
Yeah, we've seen it a couple of times, and we've seen him in mid once, and we've seen him in offlane once or twice, but that's about it. People have experimented with it, some more successful than others, but not really a prominent pick at all. One hero that is a prominent pick, 2 heroes actually that are prominent picks, 3 I guess, ROD, Weaver and Visage. All 3 ignored thus far. Of course 4FC has got their supports ready, but Fnatic still don't have any supports just yet, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a 4FC ban out, something like that. They're actually gonna stop, I think they're afraid they're gonna get fought on constantly, so they're gonna at least make sure that Spirit Breaker's not gonna be there also to make it just a YOLO kind of lineup with Timbersaw, Troll and Spirit Breaker. And now also the Bounty Hunter, just that if there are kills being exchanged, that it's not going to be guaranteed to go towards Fnatic, even though it's an even trade, of course, because of the track hold. It does mean that Fnatic has free reign to decide which supports they want to pick up.
Yeah, they've got a lot of space to grab supports here, and can get some pretty good counter-push supports. I think 4FC are angling for the Nature's Prophet. Honestly, just because they've banned out both Bounty Hunter and Spirit Breaker. I mean, it synergizes pretty well with the push that they've got going on at the moment. And SB and Bounty Hunter can be 2 heroes that do really put a thorn in the side of the Prophet. So we'll see if they end up going for that. But yeah, on that support point, we've got Jakiro, we've got Rubik, we've got Shadow Demon, we've got Keeper of the Light. So all, I think, pretty strong options here for Fnatic. But 4FC having picked up the Chen so early, I mean, they're not necessarily full-on committing to a push strat, but let's see what they do with it, because it is maybe a little bit earlier than you would expect to see Chen unless you're really planning to get something out of it.
Yeah, and Lifestealer now picked up by Fnatic. It's a pretty tough lineup to kill right now. I mean, they're also tanky and sturdy and all that. So 4FC, they really have to make sure that whatever they pick up next, I mean, they have the Riptide, which is great. Bit of minus armor there. Chen also, Pendant's gonna be maybe helping out a bit later on in the game. But they really need something they can throw at a punch. And Weaver is one of the heroes that can do that. However, he is needing to be to be able to move around, and that might be tricky because there's a lot of slows, there's bashes, and I'm not sure if that's going to be but they need something else, let's put it that way. They need something else next to the Weaver. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mirana pick up either, just to have some more mobility. That might be their solution here. Crystal Maiden for Fnatic, strong support, we've seen that a lot lately of course as well, just with a slow and a frostbite. And if you want to have some early game aggression, then Crystal Maiden definitely a strong one to put there.
Yeah, I'm wondering what Fnatic are going to be doing with their lanes, because they maybe have the... So they see the Nagasari and they see the Chen, they think, okay, well, it's not the strongest defensive tri lane. If we don't get wiped out by the Chen at the 2.5 minute mark, whenever he comes in with that first big rotation across, then you should be okay. The one problem that they do have is that even if they run an aggressive tri lane, it might go okay, but 4FC could just have the Weaver as the primary farmer on top, and then they've only got Bite as any kind of reliable disable against the Weaver. So if the Weaver plays it right and Fnatic run an aggressive tri lane, then Fnatic shouldn't really put too much pressure on. The Puck pickup is interesting actually, because Troll Warlord 1v1 mid against Puck actually does very, very well. His nukes are just super spammable, ends up doing pretty well in terms of the lane control, but yeah, it's very difficult for Puck to just sit there trading hits, and 60% mischance on axes is absolutely no joke.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised to see the Puck pick up indeed in this stadium. Maybe they want to try and run the Puck off lane, then put something else mid. But it's not that... I mean, that's not ideal either, because then you're going to have a Puck up against a lane that has a Crystal Maiden in it, which is just a very tough lane to be in regardless. So, for example, Nature's Prophet, as you earlier pointed out, would be a better hero there, even though, you know, you want to expect him to be in the jungle, because he's not going to be able to do anything against the lane with a Lifestealer and a Crystal Maiden. Yeah, I am expecting also a Troll mid, so Puck will have a tough time. But we'll see what 4FC have in mind. I mean, they obviously have something in mind. As Fnatic will think about their last pickup, they can still, or last ban rather. Of course, the 4FC, the only thing that they miss right now is an offlaner. And Nature's Prophet is the one that they leave in the pool. First pickup goes to Fnatic, so in theory, they could even pick up the Nature's Prophet themselves still and just put him in the jungle or something like that. Same thing goes if they want to try and pick up an Enigma or something like that. It really, like, right now, Timbersaw, Troll, Lifestealer, I would really like to see something else that's so tanky and that's just annoying to face. Or maybe even a tree. Oh, that's so tanky and annoying to face. Well, I wanted to say it out loud, I didn't, because I really wasn't expecting it actually. But it's a hero that kind of fulfills my description. I have to say, this is a very, like, imagine you're Crystal Maiden right now. You know? You're a little girl, blonde little girl, you know, walking around, your boots. And you're surrounded by a zombie, a troll with axes, someone in the machine that's coming down trees and is just mental because he's afraid of trees and he keeps shouting stuff and run. And you have a centaur. I mean, this is really it's like Snow White and dwarves, but then Snow White and the Ugly Bunch. I don't really know how to call them.
Well, I mean, I guess Crystal Maiden and Centaur are best friends, right? Because Stampede lets Crystal Maiden go really fast for a really, really short time. Good she point. Can pretend that she actually has good base move speed. But yeah, Fnatic, I don't know what you would call their lineup. I guess it's just face rush. It's 4 kind of burly heroes, 3 of which are strength, and 4FC are a little bit fragile at the moment. Chen doesn't really deal all that well with people being up in his face. He wants to be at the back of the fight, you know, moving his creeps around, sort of have a very organized kind of situation there. But yeah, 4FC don't really have anybody to get up on the front lines at the moment, and Fnatic just have so much combined health. I actually worry that 4FC maybe don't have enough damage at the moment. Weaver is their only carry, and whoa, okay, so...
Okay.
4FC completely changed tack, and we'll take the Medusa here. So, interesting last picks, I have to say, and I'm really interested to see how this is going to end up playing out, because the first 2 picks for 4FC, you would think, okay, they're maybe going to be going for a little bit of the push, that kind of thing, and then Fnatic take this super burly, super aggressive lineup, and it looks like 4FC are maybe planning to take it a little bit late. The Medusa doesn't necessarily imply that they're going late game. The new ultimate is absolutely nuts, and it's great against this kind of style that Fnatic are looking to run. You have a big ult that Fnatic can't face rush into, so hopefully Medusa will have good positioning to be able to lock them down every fight.
Yeah, and hopefully for her, like the face rush, as you call it, doesn't start too early for her, because she really she needs to have level 6. That's for starters, and perhaps treads and or face boots and drums or something like that. Something that can allow her to at least do a little bit of damage. And as you say, I mean, Chen is one that wants to stand at the back of the fight. Weaver is the same story. He wants to be able to weave himself in and out, so they need some sort of way to shut people down. I'm wondering if it's enough. I mean, they have got a Dream Coil, which is very nice against this lineup as well. The song, very great. I mean, the snare is great. They've got the tools. I'm wondering if it's... Like, it's so much coming from Fnatic. It's so sturdy. We'll see how they deal with things, though, but yeah. Sorry.
I mean, they've got a song and a coil, I guess, to be able to try and reset against the Stampede, but yeah, I think it's still going to end up being pretty difficult. Fnatic, their lineup is pretty greedy, I would say, but 4FC aren't really an early aggressive pushing lineup either. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But maybe we should introduce who's playing what.
Yeah, first appearance in competitive Dota 2 Medusa. We're gonna see in this game. Well, I hope we are, because there is a disconnect for Medusa. But we'll see. We have got Hani in the mid lane for Fnatic. Now, of course, back in the mid lane after having a bit of a role swap earlier this season. But Hani back and playing the Troll Warlord this game. We've got a trial lane for Fnatic on the bottom lane, and this is meaning that we're gonna see Trixie in the jungle on a Centaur. That's at least what we can be expecting here. Fly will play the Crystal Maiden. We have got No-Tail taking on the Lifestealer. We'll be farming up. Actually, is this No-Tail in the jungle and Trixie farming up? Because normally No-Tail, of course, is secondary support, but in this lineup where Fnatic just has 4 heroes that need gold, might just have a Lifestealer in the jungle. But both options are still possible. Last but not least, it is the stand-in. Of course, Era is not here right now, so that does cause Fnatic to maybe switch their lineup slightly. It means that Fire, the stand-in that I believe we've seen him before, I can't remember when and where though, but you normally ask stand-in, what do you normally play? And if he says off-lane, that you're gonna give him off-lane, no matter if you normally have Trixie on the off-lane. So they put him on the off-lane on the Timbersaw, and I'll leave 4FC to you, as they actually run an aggressive trialing.
Yeah, and it looks like No-Tail is going to end up being in the lane here. It's a bit of an interesting build to start things off. Looks like he is going to be going for a poor man's shield just to try and deal with the Weaver harassment a little bit, and Juicy might be in some trouble here. No, never mind. That's that. Aggressive tri-lane Chen is not normally a thing, but 4FC really want the pressure here apparently, and they're going to have some more disconnects as well. But it's a little bit unusual from 4FC. I mean, I guess Fnatic's lineup is a little bit greedy, so putting pressure on like this is great, and it'll force the supports to sit right on top of the Lifestealer because he can't hope to win the 1v1 against the Weaver.
What's an OCD?
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Wow.
Like OCD is, you know, I guess, have you ever watched the TV show Monk with the detective?
Yes.
Yeah, he has OCD.
Okay, but why would
So, like,
red health bars tickle that?
Because half of the health bars are green and half of the health bars are red, right? So if he clicks on one of the enemy heroes, he's expecting green, and now he's seeing red, and it bugs him. I don't know if he actually has OCD, but that's.
I'm gonna assume he hasn't, but it's at least a fair explanation. You still want to introduce, by the way, 4FC, because I didn't go over.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't run over who's playing what. So on 4FC, we've got Krilly soloing up top on the Medusa. Heading towards mid, we've got Blom playing the Puck. A little bit out of position, a little bit stuck right now. We've got Bomsky playing the Chen. Centaur's going to get bitten there. We've got Jissy playing the Naga Siren, and we've got Strangby playing the Weaver.
Yeah, and they're running this semi-aggressive tri lane. I kind of like it because it does make sure that Fnatic is going to be busy all the time with the bottom lane, rather than trying to maybe gank up Krilly, who's now getting solo farm and solo experience, even though his last hits are really not something to write home about. It's only 6-0. The Fire sitting on 9-1 on his Timbersaw. But at least he has got solo experience, and that's of course the one that we were talking about. He needs to have level 6 once the time comes. By the way, this Medusa build, going for stats and Mystic Snake. It's interesting. Because right now, I mean, he just skips the rest, skips the shield, skips the arrows.
Yeah, I mean, the other skills aren't really super relevant in the 1v1 against the Timbersaw, and if the other skills are going to be relevant, it's going to be in the late game. So, don't mind the build at all. It does help out quite a bit against the Timbersaw, who's a very strong, very formidable 1v1. So, for FC, it's a very conscious decision here to get solo space to the Medusa by putting pressure on bot. I think on the whole it's going to end up working out, but as you can see, Chen's already been forced back into his own jungle for the time being. So Fnatic are getting a little bit more space back. But as you can see, Fly is forced to come and sit in the lane non-stop on top of No-Tail because he just can't leave him alone against the Weaver. He won't get any farm without some help.
Yeah, and the one that's jungling is actually Trixie right now. Who's of course able to do that because of his return, so that helps out. But well, no kill's gonna happen anytime soon here on this bottom lane, I think, unless someone makes a big mistake. There is some pulling going on for Fly here, so he might be getting some extra experience and farm right there. In the meantime, in the mid lane, we have got Hani sitting on 18-8, and we have got 12-6 on the puck. And I really want to read the friend zone thing. Oh, friend zone by Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, Centaur has no wins with Crystal Maiden, so Fly and Trixie looking to change that up this game. As we can see, the mid lane's going pretty well for Troll Warlord. It's definitely a pretty good matchup against the Puck, and well, he's got a bottle, he's got a poor man shield. It's ridiculously difficult for Puck to trade blows, and yeah, just the spam ability on the axes is through the roof. So it's a very good matchup for the Troll. So at least mid lane's going well for Fnatic, and yeah, Puck just gets completely manned down on. There's nothing that Puck can do if Troll decides that he wants to go all in.
Yeah, they're also winning bottom lane, by the way. No-Chill sitting on 21-5, with Strangby sitting on 17-1, and of course on the top lane, Fire 17-3 up against Krilly 17-5. It's even, which is very great for an offlaner. I mean, you're suicide laning. Of course, it's up against the solo lane, but it's still pretty great for Fire to be able to do that and get that farm. So I would say Fnatic is pretty happy with their results thus far. I mean, they've got a pretty greedy lineup, so if the laning phase wouldn't go well for them, they probably would have been left behind, and Fnatic should be able to, or 4FC should be able to take advantage of that. But as long as their lanes go well, I'm actually thinking 4FC is going to have a tough time in making sure that there is going to be a chance for them to actually get some control over this game.
Yeah, and I mean, Chen as a hero is not somebody who wants to have the momentum moving backwards towards his side of the map. He really wants to keep everything pushed out, get those early towers down, and most of the time if you're playing a Chen, and if you're a Chen player, you're very happy if the game is looking like it's going to end around the 30-minute mark, where your creeps are still relevant, your heal is still really relevant, and the tower gold that you've hopefully accumulated for your team is still, translating into items and translating into a big advantage. But right now, Chen's just grabbing himself some farm. And 4FC are going to have to, I guess, try and hit some timings or something here to be able to get some stuff done. Or just rely on the ultra late game with the Medusa. But I don't know if drafting 4 heroes in one direction is the right idea and then changing it around later on.
Yes, we have got an ensnare here upon No-Tail. Flies being chased down by the Weaver. Weaver, who has to be careful because there's a Centaur's down, but he actually is going to backstab, and he might be able to get first blood here. In comes a Frostbite. Shukushi comes out. Is it enough? Yes, it is. First blood drawn by Strangby, who is popping a salve and will be just fine. He doesn't have mana for Shukushi, but I'm thinking he's going to be a-okay.
So, yeah, things going pretty well for 4FC on bot. I guess the jungle Centaur is not helping out the bottom lane all that much. It's pretty much just duo lane versus duo lane. And Trixie now makes his way across. I'm not 100% sure what he's plotting here. I think he just needs to go into the jungle, get his level 6. Once that 6 is up, he can help the Timbersaw just dive on top of the Medusa top. He's got his Chakram up now. So long as Fire has a little bit of mana and they're coordinating, then it should be a really straightforward kill. And even the same story for Hani on mid. If Blom uses an orb at the wrong kind of time and there's a Stampede ready, he can immediately get wiped out by the Troll.
Yeah, it's pretty scary as we see them going for the Troll. The Dream Coil is already there. In comes Juicy as well. Yeah, he's got a snare ready for Hani, who lands his axes. Everybody misses right now, but it's enough. It looks like it is enough. Those whirling axes, everybody was just standing too close, getting hit by those, and then you miss. And then there's no dead Troll on the map.
Yeah, 60% mischance is absolutely no joke. You think, okay, look at Troll's health pool. It's not that amazing. We can probably burst him down, and then you don't realize that every single time you go for a gank, you're almost relying on maybe 100 to 200 damage worth of auto attacks connecting, and yeah, with 60% miss and a poor man's shield, that last sliver just takes absolutely forever.
Which name of a professional player fits with Troll?
I'm not sure. I didn't actually catch the stat. So
Well, the stat was there's a trivia sometimes. So the question is, which professional player has got the most wins on Troll Warlord? Hint: the name fits. Or maybe who is a troll? Because we've seen Rattlesnake International go for a couple of Troll Warlord games, and I believe they won most of them. So maybe they got say like Sing Sing is a troll.
yeah, I don't know. That's
I don't know.
a good one. I'm not actually sure.
I don't know either.
I just can't think of a team where I'm like, oh yeah, who plays a lot of Troll Warlord? Nobody really springs to mind. So I'd be interested to find out what's going on with that. But so 4FC, they've got a level 5 Chen. Things are okay in that department, but Krilly's having a really tough time on top. Is still doing pretty well in terms of CS, but Fire can really drive him back whenever he wants. We do have the Naga Siren making her way up to try and get a little bit of farm and
Looks like, yeah, he gets himself dead again. Weaver still getting stunned up, but is able to get himself out. Second kill of the game goes to Strength. This Weaver could turn into a pretty scary creature here.
Yeah, Weaver's doing work, but I don't know. I'm still not sold on the Medusa. We'll see.
Yeah, time will tell. Medusa in the meantime is getting some support. Naga Siren are helping out as well, but Timbersaw able to Timber Chain himself away there in the end.
Trixie really needs this level 6. It's going to be a big help, like I said, for these solo lanes, so we'll hopefully be picking that up pretty soon. Puck, again, not doing that great while Troll. I think he's been farming up the jungle a little bit at the same time, so it might not be super representative of how the mid lane actually played out, but it is a very good matchup for the Troll Warlord. So it may be a little bit surprising that 4FC opted to pick it up. I mean, he's not a super common pick at the moment, so a lot of players just don't have the experience in the 1v1. But Honey's doing quite well.
He is indeed, and he's gonna go for Blomir, slowing him down. There is no orb up for another 3 seconds, but the haste rune will keep him out of harm's way from those axes. I mean, Honey, he probably just wants to go for his BKB, for his Helm of the Dominator, and then he's gonna be ready. I mean, with a greedy lineup like this, you kinda can't afford to take more farm than you actually need until the rest of your team has done the same thing, but Honey still needs quite a bit. I mean, that's the downside of Troll, I guess. He is a strong laner, for sure, but for him to do well, the laning phase actually has to take quite long. He has to just get himself some extra gold there. And then now goes actually inside the jungle, knowing that he can't really do anything up against Blom. And we actually have a rotation smoke up for Josie and Boomski with a couple of creeps. The only disable that they bring is in a snare though. Let's see if they can find themselves a kill on No-Tail, which is not the easiest target to take down at all. But perhaps with help of the Weaver they can. No, they're not sure where to go either. They're actually just gonna counter.
Fly might just die again. Let's see if he moves across. Nope. Okay.
Nope. Smoke gank failed. And we do have a rotation from No-Chill actually. And Trixie as well. Trixie is smoked up. No-Chill not so much. Maybe they want to try and take down the Medusa, who still has her ulti to pop. Perhaps it's going to be enough, or at least buying enough time for 4FC to TP in to help out. But Trixie just showing himself means that there's going to be one scared Medusa sitting in the forest, not going to get ganked. 4 heroes on top for Fnatic. I think they are ready to maybe start throwing out their death ball here.
Yeah, I mean, they've got pretty good base HP in all these heroes. They don't quite have the level 6 on the Centaur just yet. 4FC could choose to just have a trade here, tier 1 for tier 1, I would think. And 4FC might even be able to get back in time to defend on top lane. So, well, it looks like Fnatic are just going to end up backing it out, still playing pretty passively. I'm not sure which team actually feels they have the advantage going into the late game. We've got good farm on Troll and we've got good farm on Lifestealer. And then 4FC are weighing up. Okay, we've got okay farm on the Medusa. She's doing quite well, but obviously a pretty late game oriented hero. And Weaver's off to a fantastic start, but I don't know, Shiver, who do you think is... Do you think it's clear cut as far as the late game is concerned, or is it going to be a little bit more interesting that
I
way?
think it's gonna come down. I mean, it's normally gonna come down to decision making, but Even more so in this game, because of course Medusa is going to be big. If you're talking about late game, Medusa is going to be big. I mean, she's leveling fine. Her farm might not be the best, but that will come, especially once you start leveling up her split shot, and then, you know, she'll farm even faster than what she does right now. And they'll have a Hand of God, they'll have a Mechanism, they'll have a Dream Coil, they'll have, of course, got the Stone Gaze, and I mean, they've got a lot of team fight potential. And then I'm not even talking yet about the Naga Siren, who, of course, I mean, should the team fight not go their way, she can put out the song and 4FC can back out. So they have got nice team fight. Fnatic though, they've got this, as you said during the draft, they've got this face rush thing. Like Trixie hits his R button and everybody runs in. You've got Timbersaw to deal with a lot of burst damage. Troll Warlord, same story. The question is, how many people will actually die in that burst damage? Because if Boomski gets himself enough farm, a Hand of God and a Mechanism can maybe negate most of the damage that's being done in that time, and perhaps can be enough for Fnatic to not be able to get their lineup working. And on
top lane,
Krilly in some trouble. He goes down.
So, yeah, Honey had an Invis rune. I'd like to draw attention to the fact that right now Honey is doing his best Puck impression on Troll, and he actually has a Blink Dagger. I was a little bit confused when I saw the pickup. I would also normally bring to light the fact that he bought Treads on Troll when you have so much attack speed anyway. Typically phase boots are the preferred pickup. I think he's just doing it to get a little bit more out of tread switching and bottling up. But yeah, Blink is not a normal pickup on Troll, I would say, but it definitely adds to that face rush aspect of their lineup.
Yeah, as we have a Dream Coil here up on Trixie, who is gonna try to escape from it, and yeah, it looks like they are able to escape. He is able to escape from it by just walking up the high ground. And look at the support that comes in. Frostbite will still clean out one of the Chen scripts unless he can send it home, which he is not doing in time. He's actually gonna send Blom home, who's gonna be orbing into his orb. Oh, he missed it. Too bad. But you're right, I like it a lot. It also offers, I mean, the Blink Dagger on Honey, that is. It also offers him for Lifestealer an Infest target. So he can infest, and they have got this Blink initiation, and they can start with their hate train without being dependent on Trixie's ultimate to initiate, because still, Trixie's ultimate is of course global. It has a sound as well, and it's kind of advertising that they're gonna go in. So if with this infest bomb, they can jump up on, let's say, Naga Siren, and Naga Siren will be bashed and, you know, maybe even abyssal later on in the game, then I would actually say that Fnatic has got a pretty good chance in taking most of the team fights, just by virtue of not having the song available for 4FC. And they're actually not done with their aggression. They've smoked up, they're looking for a kill, maybe up on a Weaver, maybe up on Juicy, who is level 6 right now, so he can stop things from happening if he's fast enough on the fingers.
And 4FC, they're not too far off actually having a pretty reasonable timing, couple of items to actually be able to take a fight. So they've got their level 6 up on the Naga Siren, they've got level 11 up on the Medusa, so they've got that second point up in the ultimate, they've got the Chen with level 6, and he's got a mech, and they've now got the Blink Dagger finished on the Puck. So it doesn't... I mean, it will obviously get better as we move forward, and Blom's gonna get jumped here on mid. Again, Blink Dagger Troll Warlord with the Infest Bomb, I guess. Way too easy to bring down the Puck. If he uses Orb, he's just gone.
Yeah, and the
looks
downside
like more
was,
action top.
Yeah, Stone Gaze actually used. It's enough with the stomp from Trixie to stop really from TPing out. He'll go down. A lot of TPs coming in to take him down. Tower will still die. Actually, did not get denied. Medusa still able to take the last hit for it, so that's great. But Fnatic is starting to be at the point where they are having control of everything, and they're going to be able to pick up more here as well. Boomski forced to try and run away, but look at this attack speed. It's too much, and he gets himself another kill added to the board. No song coming out from Juicy to help his Chen, which is of course understandable, because Chen is not really one that you want to use that ulti for, but still, Fnatic getting more and more ahead. Look at the net worth of Hani. He is getting quite out of control. I mean, he might have gone for a Blink Dagger first, but it is really paying off.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel that he could almost get the same job done, maybe with the Shadow Blade, but it's definitely entertaining to watch, and got it loaded up again on mid, so this time around Blum does have his Blink, and he's got Orb up and ready to go. But yeah, 4FC, I don't know, I was, you know, just before we had that little bit of a skirmish, I was saying, look, they've got their Hand of God, and they've got Song, and they've got Stone Gaze, and they've also got a mech.
And they've also got a Chen. Not anymore.
Yeah, no longer.
They actually go for Krilly. If they can't get this pick up as well, that's huge. Krilly trying to run from it. Has got that shield up, of course. In comes the Dream Cold Blumberg. Able to force him out. Perhaps even able to take a kill. Hani taking a lot of harassment. The Snake will chase him down and get the kill in the end. Now No-Tail going to be the next target. Also goes down. Naga with the kill. In the end, it works out. The chase is futile for next, or for Fnatic, but... Well, they did take a tier 1 tower in that time. They still took down the Chen, and you were just saying like how much the amount of heroes they have for the team fight. But 4FC is not there yet. They need more items. They've got themselves Medusa with the Yasha, so he's getting there for that Manta style. Weaver has got drums, has got treads, can maybe already start to fight, but doesn't really have any damage items just yet. So grouping up as 5 for 4FC won't really be enough just yet, as Weaver might be finding himself another kill up on Fly actually, and Snare comes out. That's gonna be a pick off. One more hit, goes for the freezing field, doesn't matter. Tower gets picked up by Strangby, kill gets picked up by Krilly, and overall, I mean 4FC, they need to be able to take more control, more gold, more advantage, because right now, I mean even if they're ahead right now, 4FC is ahead in gold, I'm still fearing for them, purely because of the lineup for Fnatic is so dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Fnatic go for anything too organized just yet. I mean, we had No-Tail and Hani all the way up on top lane, a long way from any kind of assist, but if they just, yeah, here comes the 5-man. We've got the smoke, we've got the Infest Bomb. 4FC, things are actually looking pretty good. They've gotten some momentum, and Fnatic do need to be careful. If they lose another team fight, it's very easy for 4FC to grab Roshan, and for things to spiral out of control a little bit from there. So let's see what Fnatic can get with this smoke gank.
Yeah, they're trying to chase them down. They have got vision up the high ground, so they know exactly who's here, and they're gonna, of course, go for Krilly and Blumsky. Let's see, there's a charge, Infest out! Gaze not in time, or is it? It is! What the hell, the Gaze? It's enough, I mean, Boomski still dies, but Krilly lives. And I think that's the most important thing, Gaze doing its job. Almost like a song. In comes a Dream Coil, No-Tail taking a lot of damage, getting in her and then Snare upon him as well. Armlet toggling for his life right now. As Krilly will still get bashed and will still maybe be taken down. No, in comes the song, helping out Krilly. Lifestealer still able to get himself away, was able to walk to the high ground after the song, or before the song hit actually, and gets forced back. They're still trying to chase down Fire. I mean, that's not a hero that you can't chase down though. It's a Timber Saw, so good luck with that one. So they are able to force them out, and they only lose a Chen for it. I think that's generous of Fnatic, but it's not a big ass win that you would expect from a smoke gang, 5-man smoke gang from Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, I think they weren't getting quite as much as they were hoping for. They did, and I guess it's not a kill, but they did manage to get the rank 1 song, so super long duration cooldown on that, and Fnatic aren't really waiting around for too much. They just need another Stampede, which is up in 50 seconds, and then they can have another crack at it. But 4FC looks like just straight into Roshan, and shouldn't be too difficult for them. Fly maybe suspects a little bit, but the rest of his team is at the other 4 corners of the map, so looks like Roshan going to be picked up for free here by 4FC.
Yeah, and that was exactly what you were saying. Like, of course you were saying it with if they won a team fight, but in the end, taking Roshan will have the same effect. They will get themselves an edge that 4FC or the Fnatic doesn't have, and with that, perhaps the next team fight will go their way, and it can indeed spiral out of control real fast, because Fnatic, they've got 4 heroes that need farm, and if 4FC gets that map control their way, and make sure that there's not that much space anymore for Fnatic to farm, then 4FC will take control of the game and will take control of the farm, and in the end Fnatic won't be able to do anything with their lineup, as Weaver and Medusa will just be too big. And I mean, Medusa picked up, that's great, but she actually fits in the lineup right now. How about that? I mean, if she gets big, Split Shot is a very great tool to have up against a team that is very melee heavy and that you can try to kite around, so you can just stand from a distance and hit them all.
Yeah, and they've got a bunch of great ways to back up the Medusa as well. Puck makes a lot of space in fights. The Naga Siren is, as far as supports are concerned, one of the best counter initiators in the game. Pretty much full stop. So Fnatic, they've got their work cut out for them if 4FC managed to accumulate too much more farm. And 4FC, like I said, they've got those teamfight items up, so they shouldn't be too afraid about trying to take these fights right now.
And they're actually gonna jump themselves in. Dream Coil up on 2. We do have an infested Lifestealer sitting on the troll, but it doesn't matter for the Timber Saw. Timber Saw already dead. Buys back, wants to TP back towards the tier 2 tower. Is he gonna be in time though? Troll already dead, no Teal still on the run, in comes the Chakram. Devil forces 4FC back, but that's a win for them. The tower ends up still going down. Was it denied or not? Yeah, it's destroyed by the Radiant. Never mind.
Yeah, destroyed by Radiant.
And another Blink Dagger, by the way. Centaur having himself the farm for Blink. Let's see how far 4FC can get with this push, though. They might not have the battle trance, but still pretty strong. Oh, wow, that burst! Weaver time-lapsing himself back to health, getting stomped straight away. In comes the Stone Gaze and the Song at the same time. Bit of a miscoordination, but at least it sends the message. 4FC is backing off from this fight. Oh, they're getting chased down perhaps, so Timber saw a hero that can definitely do that if he sets his mind to it. Can he maybe find himself a Naga Siren? In comes the open wounds, the vision is there. Naga will indeed get picked off. Strangby, why are you coming back, Strangby? You should not be here. Ages wasted. Given away, if you ask me. Krilly still sending through a snake, trying to help Strangby, but might have just ended up killing himself. In comes Blum as well, forced to come in now that now that Medusa made sure that she's in the fight. Centaur will still go down, picked up by Boomski on the side. Infest inside a Chen creep from Boomski. No Till running himself out again. Can't sit in that Chen creep because it has the chance of maybe being sent home, of course. And that's not somewhere where you want to be, as in the Dire base. In the end, actually, Centaur for Naga Siren is a good trade for 4FC, so that chase did not benefit Fnatic at all.
And Fnatic are jumping the gun a little bit. They pushed into mid. Hani was 300 gold away from finishing up his BKB. Now he's a little bit further back after the death. And we had Trixie. He was hiding in the trees, but he was still about 300 gold away from his Blink Dagger. So I think the game plan in Fnatic's mind was take that tower for free because surely 4FC don't defend. And then they have their Blink, then they have their BKB, and then they're ready to go for the next fight. But 4FC jumped them just before they had those two big items up, and it really ends up working out for them. So 4FC, the game is dragging on. It's 25 minutes now, and you know Medusa is starting to pick up farm, already has that Manta style up, and Fnatic have to start being a little bit worried. They're also starting to run really low on smoke. They don't have any in stock, and it'd be worth checking if they actually have any in their inventories, which... So. Yeah, I don't think so. None on the courier either, so... Fnatic, this is a pretty dangerous situation for them. They're out of smoke, they've lost a reasonable amount of map control, so they don't really have the same staging ground that they did when they had all their tier 1s up, and 4FC, I don't know if they can just farm this out, but things are in a really good spot right now for them.
Oh, and Blink Dagger, not that effective on trolls apparently. 1 to 3. He has got his BKB ready now as well though, so I would say Helm the Dominator around the corner. I mean, he's getting his core items up, but at the same time, there is a Medusa and a Weaver that is higher farmed than he is, as Weaver actually harasses Fire away. Weaver, who has himself the Desolator, which, I mean, it's nice. I said at the start that Weaver, or actually it was there in the previous game, I guess, is normally a hero that wants to have a defensive item before he builds into his damage items. And we already saw him taking a lot of harassment from the Timbersaw earlier on, from the burst damage that he can do, and he has to still be really careful with that, but if he lives through that, then he is going to be having a field day with picking up all the damage, or doing all the damage to all the heroes on Fnatic, because that minus armor works out a lot, works out great. Boomski, by the way, smoking up, coming from behind, maybe trying to take down Fire. In comes Blumberg already first, and Snare there up as well, Dream Coil as well. Tries to Timber Chain himself away, but in comes the Centaur, was already waiting around, not even needed. Strangby with a pickup, great organized setup, great organized gank, and they get themselves a Timbersaw, and that means that Fnatic themselves can't really do anything. They can't smoke, but they do group up next to a ward of the Dire, and also infest next to a ward of the Dire.
Yeah, so this gank probably won't do too much. They might even end up just walking into their into a pretty bad situation. So Fnatic, the thing is, their lineup had a really clear goal in mind, and now they've been slowed down a little bit, and it's sometimes a little bit difficult to see where to go from here, because 4FC are just accumulating items, and like you said, Strangby's build is a little bit out of the ordinary. He doesn't really have that one core survivability item, be it the BKB or the Lincolns, but I think it was 100% the right sort of progression to go here. That during the early game, he had to be all over the map because they needed to make space for the Medusa to farm, so the Medallion and the Drum were great as far as that was concerned, and now they're in a really good spot, and I guess I expressed concern about how beefy Fnatic are as a lineup, and Desolator really helps to, I guess, even just shred the Timbersaw, who's normally, at the very least, difficult to deal with.
I think we're gonna see a Scotty on Krilly, by the way. I love that pickup. It only works on the one arrow, right? The slow?
I don't play enough Medusa. I think you're right. Only the primary target should be. This is going to be embarrassing if I get it wrong. I think it's only the primary target, but
yeah, I think so too. I think so too. It's pretty scary. I mean, if like the slow, you have got 4 melee heroes, and of course there is the Stampede, there's Timber Chain and Blink Daggers and all that jazz. But if you can slow a couple down, that's actually a big help for 4FC. We do have a Bastion now up on the Lifestealer, which is going to be helping out a lot for Fnatic, and of course Abyssal will even be better with the initiations that Fnatic can do. But 4FC is still looking fairly scary, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go for even more ganks, more rotations, get more control over this map, get some wards up in the Radiant jungle. Make sure that they kind of just choke Fnatic's farming space to pieces.
Yeah, and 4FC, I mean, Starvation Tactics don't seem like a bad way to go right now, and especially with just, I guess, how well the Naga Siren as a support scales heading towards the late game. We've already got a gem up in the Naga, so Illusion's just constantly roving around the map, getting rid of wards with no risk whatsoever to the gem. It's crazy on the support Naga, and I'm not going to say that I'm surprised that it took people so long to figure out that the support Naga is, absolutely nuts, but, not acting like I foresaw it coming, but it works out so well. I mean, she's such a great support hero. And Trixie, this could be trouble.
Yeah, they've got a Hex as well up on Lumber, because a new item. Oh, that's an illusion, Trixie. And that's going to be the start of Trixie dead. Hexing him up is just the most cruel thing you can do. It's just... look how fast he died! I didn't even have time to say anything apart from that he was dead.
Yeah, it was just 3 hits or 4 hits. I think that was it. And now 4FC, their death ball is rolling. They do have Krilly up on top, so maybe Fnatic have an opportunity to go for a bit of a jump here while the Medusa is just split pushing. But they've only got about 30 seconds, and Fire just walking a long way out. Medallion plus Deso doing work. He can't rely on just being tanky to, be able to let Timber Chain cool down in these fights. He will get melted down if the Weaver's focusing him.
Yeah, tier 2 top getting pressured a bit by Krilly and Strangby. Fortification goes out though, but next time of course it won't be there, so next time towers should be dropping, especially with Mantle illusions from Krilly. And by the way, I mean, we talked about all that Fnatic can do to be super strong, and I mean, 4FC is just building counter upon counter. We've got a Hex, of course, for everybody that is not BKB'd, and then the person that has got a BKB, the moment that he's out his BKB, will be disarmed, because there's the Heaven's Halberd being built up by the Naga, and I mean, there's just so much that 4FC can do to control the fights, and that's something that Fnatic, I mean, of course, at the start of the game, they didn't really care about that, because in theory, they could just, as we said, face rush and just, go in, walk in, and live through everything, and then just still able to get the kills. But they've kind of missed that point. And now we're at the point where they kind of need to be able to survive. And Crystal Maiden has her own hard support. She is actually the hard support. So she only got boots and a magic stick and wards. That's it. Because the rest of Fnatic all need their farm. So who of those is going to actually be, for example, building the mechanism? Nobody. It's not possible. They don't have a mechanism builder. And they kind of need one at this point. They are trying to take down Roshan, and it's going very fast, of course, with the troll, but I do think that 4FC realizes this going on. They can, of course, use the song to initiate if they want to. In comes the bug already. Naga Siren is on the back end of things. Might be singing soon. In comes a Dream Call upon 2, upon 3, 1 already dead. Crystal Maiden getting picked up as well. Everybody just melting here. Fire up on the high ground. Timber chaining himself away. Still has a couple of trees to chop, but he gets it. That's going to be 3 dead. 4FC, like it is no effort whatsoever, taking the Roshan, taking kills, and forcing 4FC back, forcing Fnatic back. It's just very scary. And I think that's Scotty ready. Yep, Scotty in the house.
And Fnatic, that was a very that was a big gamble. I guess that's the one way to put that play. If you looked at their vision before they went out to try and take that Roshan, they didn't have a single ward on the map. They were completely pinned back in their face, and fire.
Yeah.
Gets trapped.
Gets trapped, gets killed. Ooh, he suicides. Well, he's got 3
items for
Bloodstorm
everyone.
charges left. Yeah, yeah. Well, he got an item to Captain Gangbang. I think he's very happy with that.
Yeah, so I mean, Fnatic, that move just sort of reeked of desperation a little bit. They didn't know where 4FC were at all. They had no vision. They were just being starved out. They went for what I would call, I guess, a low percent play, and it just didn't pay off. So now they're going to lose Arax without being able to contest it at all. The Medusa has really hit her stride, and I don't know what Fnatic do from this point forward. I think the biggest problem was maybe not. They got kills, but it didn't translate into objectives. I mean, we saw that big dive up on top where they got, a couple of kills, but then got cleaned up as a result, and maybe just not playing it safe enough early enough, making sure that it was pick off tower, pick off tower, pick off tower. And
Trixie, you're so dead. Down he goes, and then drops fast. Ooh, he's able to get himself a bit more health though, but it's not enough. He goes down. Timbersaw goes down. GG gets cold. It's too much. Fnatic, they are too greedy. Did not get their items up in time, and as you said, did not capitalize on the early aggression they could throw out. Did not get the control. Lose the game. 4FC is going to be really happy that they get this game in their pocket. As I said earlier, they really need those games because they don't want to be going to the Pro Series without a fight. And they show here that they definitely have the strength to fight with the Medusa. Medusa, 100% win rating in competitive Dota 2. Sorted.
Curly with a 100% win rate on Medusa in competitive Dota 2.
Yeah. Well, we are going to be jumping ourselves to another game. And you're going to be joining me for that one as well, or how do you feel?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure. I'm not too sleepy.
Good.
Just yet.
And we're going to have a good game because we're going to have Russian Dota. Virtus Pro taking on Rockskids will be our next game. So stick around, we'll be right back with another game of Dota 2 for StarSeries. You know the drill. We're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere.